Hi guys, Rob here, and welcome to this reasonably sunny Wednesday here in the UK. Last weekend we had the UK Drum Show in Liverpool, which I attended, as did thousands of other drummers. And what a great show it was, I have to say. And as ever, you know, if I didn't say hello to you and we passed and stuff, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't grab your arm, you didn't grab mine. Because I was probably talking to someone else, and so were you probably. It was brilliant. The minute I showed up, it was just got in the foyer and there was already, hey Rob, which is lovely. So thank you everyone for saying hello. And also, well done you all for going, because if we don't go to these events, they don't happen. So 2026 is already on the cards, and I think I'm going to be there again in 2026. So why was I there? I was there because I'm a drummer, obviously, but also DrumDog, those fab people at DrumDog that I've done quite a few lesson packs and videos for now. We've done 3 or 4 under the influence of, which is where I pick my favorite drummer, or one of my favorite drummers, or sometimes they pick them for me because they know I like them, and they sit there and go, Rob, how about Tony Williams? So that's how the Tony Williams pack happened. And there's going to be one coming up shortly, which I can't really talk about, but we're going to be doing another one very soon. And I've done one on Ian Pace, which is getting so many views. And I was told their shorts and the reels they've put out on YouTube and Instagram, they're the most watched, up in the millions, I believe. So that's amazing. So happy about that. Over the moon, actually. If I've got those figures wrong, you can shoot me down. But yeah, they're the highest ones. So I'm really proud of that, because Ian's one of my favorite drummers in the whole entire universe. So to be able to do a lesson on him and it be the most viewed reels and stuff is amazing. And I did one on Buddy Rich as well. But it's this sort of funky, contemporary side of his musical catalogue, which is really interesting, which went into drum and bass and goodness knows what. So you should go check out their website. I'll put the details up here for you, and also in the description below. And go check them out, because there's loads of great lessons from Ralph Rolls, Steve White, loads of different people. I mean, they've added so many new ones that I can't remember who else is on there. But they've also got London drummer, jazz drummer Sam Jones as well, which is brilliant. He was a fab drummer. And I caught him at the drum show. We all went out for dinner as well, which was lovely. And I caught up with so many people. So that's why I was there. And I did one of my sort of Ringo masterclasses from 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. in their DrumDog room. And it was well attended and it went down really well. Steve White came in with his son to watch, which was a bit of a gas, because I love Steve. And he's an influence on my playing as well. So to have him in the audience checking out the Ringo stuff was amazing. And I think his son enjoyed it a lot, actually. They sent me an email saying it was one of the best things he had seen on the Saturday. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. And it wasn't one of the masterclasses that I've done like with Gary Astridge. I pulled on different things, because obviously that was a year ago. And since then I've thought about other Ringoisms that I've brought into my studio playing, you know, which was the point of this. It wasn't just a look-alike-y, you know, sound-alike-y thing. It was breaking down some of the things that Ringo has used and how, you know, I've used that in my studio playing and my live playing and so on, using examples of some of the Beatles songs and so on and so forth. And you know, I don't play through entire songs anyway. So we did that. So it was a different sort of some of the ideas I've just demonstrated before, but some of the ones that, you know, I've sort of cultivated over the last year since we did it last. So yeah, so that was fun, and that went down well. And then we went out in the evening and had a lovely meal. And then on the Sunday I was free to just sort of hang out, which I did. And I met loads of different people. I caught up with Dave at Hardcase. I've been an endorser of Hardcase for like 15 years, maybe more. And, you know, I don't have to do the hard sell. Everyone knows how good they are. You know, when I'm touring with Susie or Lorena McKinnett, and I'm getting a DW kit sent to me, if I'm in a different territory like America or even some parts of Europe or whatever, where my kit is elsewhere in a truck going to another venue, and we use the DW endorser stuff, you know, it often comes in hard cases. If it's not in drum trunks, you know, proper trunks on casters and stuff, it comes in hard cases. So, and it was great to catch up with those guys. I do call them family because I've known them for years. And Dave always rings me on my birthday, wishes me happy birthday. He's just a diamond, and he's really looked after me. And there's other endorsers as well, like Gavin Harrison and Turl Bryant, and a whole host of people that use the gear that we all consider, to be family. So that was great to catch up with him. Then obviously I hung out on the Vulcan stand with Ian Richards and the boss Max and Antonio as well. It was great to meet him. So, and of course they had that huge banner of me, which was part of the stand, which was, slightly embarrassing because people would come up, look at the cymbals and then see that and go, that's him, which was quite nice. Some come up and talked, some had some photos taken with me, and some just didn't care, which is fine as well. But what I get a real buzz from is certain friends of mine, other drummers coming onto the stand, and also people like Ash Zone, and people were coming on the stand to check it out. I wasn't there the whole time, and I wasn't sort of employed to be there the whole time as an endorser. I'm proud to hang out and proud to play the drums a bit and play the cymbals. That's not a problem. Say hello to people and do that. But to see my colleagues and friends come onto the stand and play the cymbals and go, yeah, these are pretty good. But of course they can't say too much, and I certainly wouldn't take too many pictures because they're affiliated with Meinl, Sabian or Crescent or Zildjian or Paiste or whatever. But to see them say, man, these are good, but I can't move because I've got a really good deal with my company at the moment, which is a shame for Vulcan because obviously they're a small company and they're trying to make a big noise in the market, and it's hard when you've got the main hitters like Meinl, Sabian, Paiste and Zildjian, holding up all the traffic. But it's understandable. But as I say, I'm proud to be part of this smaller family because the cymbals are amazing. And the quote that they took from me, which went into the catalogue at the moment, the new catalogue, about various sound engineers, quotes about how good they sound, as well as, my thoughts and words on the cymbals, they're all true, So if you're one of those drummers that's getting people saying, those cymbals are really toppy, I've always got to roll a bit off the top, or I've got to add something, in the mix. That's kind of standard. I'm not saying, that isn't a normal thing. That's fine. And sometimes you buy cymbals more for live than the studio. But anyway, these cymbals, and I can honestly take this to the bank and on my son's life, I never get any sound engineers live or in the studio complaining about the sound of the cymbals, or saying, oh, they're a bit this, they're a bit that, which I've had with other brands. But yeah, so that's brilliant. So hanging out on Vulcan stand was great, meeting a lot of different people and walking around. I met a lot of you, and I can't remember all of you. It was great to bump into Ian Matthews, who was also on the stand checking the cymbals. Ash Zone, as I say. I didn't see a few people that I really wanted to see, like Turl Bryant, because we're doing some clinics together soon. Didn't catch up with him. And you wonder why, because it's only like 2 or 3 floors. It's like, how can you not bump into somebody? And as I say, then you walk along and you bump into a whole host of people you haven't seen for ages. And yeah, it was just great. So that was good. And I didn't get a chance to go into any of the exhibition rooms where, the big hitters, so to speak, were playing. I really wanted to catch Mark Giuliano, but I was still travelling up on the Saturday because remember I'd done those gigs with Tom Moriarty last week. And Thursday we were in Nottingham, Friday in London. I then had to get home, get a few hours sleep, and then drive up to Liverpool, which is another 4 hours from me. So I missed him, and I missed Antonio Sanchez as well, who I really wanted to see. They were the 2 main players that I really wanted to see. But, I caught up with Gabor and different people, and if I'm going to just say a few names, but I'm missing out a whole host of people. But anyway, it was a great show. If you're often thinking of coming, but it's a Saturday, so most drummers are gigging on the Saturday night. And if you're not local to Liverpool or wherever they're hosting it, which is normally Liverpool now, then you're not really going to pop in and then drive all the way home. But some people do. But as I say, if you can support it, come along, because it's such a great show. And it's the one time that you can meet all the brethren, the drumming brethren in the UK. You can all hang out together and also see these, drumming celebrities, and they're walking about. Like you can just sort of tug the shoulder and say, hey man, how you doing? Grab a picture or whatever. They're cool. They're there to do that. They're not going to turn around and say, hey man, leave me alone or whatever. They're walking around because they're part of it, and they're showboating and they're, want people to talk to them. And the drum world seems a big world, but it's quite a small world in a way. And when you get that kind of thing, and there was a brilliant, Greg Bissonette was playing on the Sunday night on the Drumeo stand, and he was up on the stage and he was playing along to some Beatles songs, and because obviously he's Ringo Starr's drummer at the moment, but he's done so many things. He's done like David Lee Roth, and he's done big band stuff and movies. He's an incredible drummer. Anyway, but Todd Sucherman had done his thing, and he was walking out back to his hotel, just minding his own business, and Greg saw him, and he had one of those sort of Madonna headphones. Did he? Or was it a normal mic? I can't remember. But he said, "Hey everybody, there's Todd Sucherman. He's a big Beatle fan," and he turns around and waves. It was just a really nice sort of like bunch of mates hanging out together, which is a good thing, you know. The only thing that always surprises me though, it doesn't surprise me. What am I saying? The thing that I forget how loud it is in those 15 minutes of quiet time, which is beautiful. We can talk about the instruments and bits and bobs and catch up and have a rabbit, you know. But in that 15 minutes where we're allowed to make noise, the amount of people that play as if they think they're going to get given an endorsement by somebody or get a gig, you know. Guys, you're not going to get a gig at that place because we're all drummers. So no one's going to pick you up and say, play in my band, because remember, we're all drummers. This is a lovely light coming through. And endorsement-wise, well, I don't know. They might be impressed by your playing. You might get some feedback. You'll get a big woohoo from people because your playing's great. But, you know, don't go there expecting to showboat on every stand, because not everybody wants that. You know, some of the people that are displaying there do not want you smashing the kit to pieces just because you're a fast drummer or whatever. But, you know, as I say, that's okay. It's part of the deal, but it never fails to, you know, make my eyes roll at times when I see these things going on. But hey, some good drummers out there doing their thing. But yeah, maybe we could just bring it down a little bit. It's not a competition. So yeah, so if you came along, brilliant. If you're watching now and you look at that, it's like a real glow. And if you came along and you said hi and we had a chat, great. If I just said hi on passing, brilliant, whatever. Send me a message. It was lovely to see you all. I did ask you to say hello, and you did. So thank you. And the ones I've missed, there are a few people I missed and said, I'll meet you at the bar, I'll meet you here. And it just couldn't happen because something else happened and got in the way. You know, sorry if we didn't catch up. It's, you know, it's nothing personal. It's just so busy. So yeah, so that's just a little roundup, really. Not much to say about that. Part of it was really good fun. I made some connections with Jabecki, who I haven't seen for a while. I'm looking into using their triggers and stuff. You know, that could be a fun thing. And yeah, I had a chat with Jane about that. So, and they're really supportive. They put me in the education room back in the day when I had their Jabecki drum shows. So there's a real sort of history there. And she talked me through the new triggers and bits and bobs. And yeah, that was good. But I didn't catch up on many other new products, really. It was more about a catch up. And actually, by the time I got to the Sunday, even though I was there all day, and I picked up another ride, which I'll talk about on another clip from Vulcan, of course. I just was so chilled after the sort of crazy 4 or 5 days I had before getting to the show that it was just kind of a wind down for me, really. And I also damaged my neck and my back on my left side a little bit from, you know, carrying the cymbals on the back and a snare in this hand, DW5000 case in this hand, and maybe, you know, my man bag over here in front of me like a St. Bernard dog or something, you know, and then maybe my clothes bag on my back, you know, going from NCP car parks to venues, NCP car parks to the hotel. Because on these Tom Moriarty gigs, we would drive, Moretti, that's a beer. Tom Moriarty, we were driving ourselves around, you know, because the budget was tight. The fee was good, but the budget was tight for other things, for transport. So yeah, so that I woke up on the Saturday morning and Sunday morning and all of my left side, and I could turn my head to the left. It's getting better though. People that were there would give me loads of advice, you know, but it's getting better, guys. It's getting better. Anyway, now I'm just rabbiting, but yeah, be careful out there. There should have been 2 trips each time to the car, back to the venue or the hotel. If you're one of those people out there doing that thing, shoving everything on yourselves, thinking, I could do this in one go, like me, then don't, because, you know, it does come back to haunt you. And yeah, and there was no bath in my hotel in the Hampton in Liverpool. So I couldn't really lie and stretch out and stuff. So be wary, drummers out there, how you carry your gear. That's a whole nother video probably. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there because I want to do a few more other ones today if I can. So I hope you're all well and groovy. If you came to the show, as I say, brilliant. And if not, come next year because you're missing a trick if you don't. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy your Wednesday and we'll speak soon.